take a look at some really exciting upcoming zombie games, and this first game is called Save Birmingham, where you play as a medieval peasant that has been completely surrounded by zombies in his village. Next up, take a look at the Midnight Walkers, which is kind of like Dark and Darker, only just as a zombie game, and you're stuck in a massive building that has a ton of floors, like 10 to 20 floors, and you have to clear all of them, and it's looking actually really special. Next up, take a look at Into the Dead, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really a fan of these side-scrolling game, but this one looks actually really exciting. It's just graphically it looks great and it's brutal. Next up, take a look at Dying Like the Beast. There's not much to say about this game, it just looks amazing, and it's the kind of the continuation of the first Dying Light game. I'm really excited for it.
It's close. Stay here, stand guard. On me. Bloody hell.
Contact! Every man has an animal within. If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Next up, take a look at No More Room in Hell 2. If you've been a fan or if you've played the first game, you know that you're in for a treat with this one. And if you're a new fan of this, well, you're also in for a treat because this is an 8-player co-op game that's absolutely brutal and really hardcore, where every move you make and every sound you make is actually very dangerous, and you have to keep count of your ammo as always.
We were told about all of this! And these here are the last days of this earth! I know this is a punishment! The other place is full, so the dead walk among us!
Next up, take a look at Retrieval, which is kind of like a Callisto Protocol / Dead Space inspired game that's taking place on a planet with, I don't know, some kind of infecteds that just wants to eat you alive.
Digging. Always searching for answers we should have never asked. Always clawing at the surface like worms begging for food. A lack of understanding to push what we don't know when something should be left alone.
There's nothing we can do.
There is no end.
Next up, take a look at Trench Tales. I'm really excited for this game. It's being made by one single developer, but the progress that he's making every single month, every single weeks with the updates that he's sharing is really great, and it's looking awesome for a World War I game with zombies. Next up, take a look at Project M, a photorealistic action game with Infected.
The informational particles that shape Project M's world can transform reality based on your choices. And each choice you make will change your experience. The information that exists in the present reality determines how the world will unfold. Value every encounter and every moment. These will be essential in the world of Project M. This is where our journey ends for now. I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Next up, take a look at State of Decay 3, a massive open world game where you can build your own house, you can have your own community of survivors, and you have to survive this massive open world.
It's too late to ask now. We all knew the risks when we ventured out beyond the gates. But you helped us make something greater than the fear and death that surrounded us. We found hope in each other.
Help! I'm surrounded. They're everywhere. There's way more than I was expecting.
And even if we bought the other survivors just one more day, the sacrifice would be worth it. It would always be worth it. And that helped us find the courage to keep going, to fight on. When we needed it the most. I didn't know you well. But we'll keep your memory alive. Every sacrifice we make matters and will never be forgotten.
Next Next up, take a look at Killing Floor 3, which is a game I'm really excited for. It's just absolutely brutal, and there's so many kind of zombies and monsters to fight in this one.
Friends. It's a very exciting, fast-paced, wave-based shooter. You can just jump in, kill a bunch of enemies really quickly, and feel good about yourself.
I think it's about feeling really afraid or challenged in a safe space. It's kind of like a roller coaster. You want to feel danger, but you're actually not in danger.
There's moments of brevity from the characters and the way that they interact with each other to offer those lighthearted moments.
In Killing Floor 2, we were able to have blood anywhere in the world.
In the past, you could not paint Zeds, you could not paint specialists, you could not paint weapons. It had to be baked, which meant that it had a process that would go through and analyze the whole map and then say, these are all the areas and this is how blood could be applied to it. We switched to Unreal 5 because we wanted to be on the latest tech. So all of the Zeds, all the specialists, all the weapons can now also have blood splattered all over them in a persistent way. You should definitely expect better blood in KF3 because it's going to be 12 times higher resolution than what it was in KF2.
Being able to bring that fidelity to the table, it's just Christmas morning every day. I love it. Our weapons are very much grounded in reality. They're pushed a little bit into the future. We try to make them believable and realistic and iconic.
Every bullet hole that hits the character stays there permanently.
And when you shoot a Zed in the center of the torso, his body rips in half.
We want it to be impactful to the player. It should feel awesome. It should feel like kind of like a horror film. Depending upon the caliber of your weapon, it can actually change. It's almost like sculpting the skin of the Zed itself, and it will push it in deeper and you'll get bigger holes. You can have big chunks like taken out of different sections of the Zed, and it will start exposing the internal gore.
When you see it, you should be like, oh shit, that was wild, and not like, oh shit, I'm gonna be sick.
Being able to see the damage impact from your bullets.
Next up, take a look at Atomfall, which does include infected and some kind of zombies, but it's also some kind of weird Soviet/British action game a la Atomic Heart. It does include infected, but I had to include this one. It looks awesome.
Wind scale. Everything changed when that bloody atom plant went up in flames.
Citizens of Wyndham, there has been an increase in bandit activity outside the village walls.
Temporary quarantine, they said? It's been bloody years.
They're hiding something from us. Something terrible.
My name's Molly. You got out to trade? I got bits and bobs for sale.
Please be careful. It's more dangerous than you can possibly imagine.
Next up, take a look at Pioneer, which just like the previous game in this video, Atomfall, this game does include some kind of zombies and infected, and it's looking amazing. It's a massive MMO, and you can do a single player story, you can do quest and PvP.
On station number 1. To anyone who can hear me, welcome. By the time you listen to this recording, I will most likely be dead. My name is no longer important. I am the former head of security for station number 2. My code name is Sumrak.
Very well. Not every form of consciousness can have bodies like we're used to. Life can come in the form of a stone, or sand, or even something scattered in the air.
Oh, I can hear the good old radar beeping. It's not a bad detector at first, but it can be inaccurate if there is more than one anomaly nearby. Basically, once you get enough hexes, I recommend you buy a better one.
Rumor has it that when the first tide came, the rogue wastelands were altered by something similar to a huge laser ray.
To put it simply, artifacts are bundles of energy. Artifacts are extremely rare, and their activation in the wrong hands can lead to disastrous consequences.
this doesn't leave us any other choice.
Soon, I will be able to break free from the shackles.
Now, you will die. The power of the tides will destroy you.
Next up, take a look at Ill, one of my most anticipated game of whatever year that it releases, because this one is planning to have the most insane dismemberment system ever seen in video games and absolutely brutal gore.
You there, Mike? I made my way in. Found some sort of administrative room. It's a total mess here.
Shit. They were really rushing out of there, weren't they? Alright, head to the dome. It might be your only way down.
Finally, take a look at Dread Dawn, which is looking amazing. Again, I'm not really a fan of these kind of games like top down, but this one is looking really amazing. It's got a ton of zombies and you need to survive in this world that just wants you dead.